Hello, everybody. Welcome to episode 7 of the Quad Pod. I am Carlo.
I am Sam.
And today we're here with some discussions of recent events, as we often are. I don't know why that came out so clunky. But, okay.
Yeah. Well, we have a few things. We have this little news segment in the beginning. Then we'll be going to our...
This is our Thanksgiving episode.
It is our Thanksgiving episode.
Yeah. I think that's what we're trying to say.
I've been looking forward to this one.
Yeah, so we're going to start off. We're going to talk about some cabinet picks, because that's the big thing that's been happening recently in Washington with President-elect Trump announcing who he's picking to staff the White House.
How many are picked right now?
I think so. So right now, there's 14 of the 25 positions have been picked, according to the New York Times.
Okay.
And we're going to talk a little bit about that. I'm gonna weave into it a little bit of a story that Sam wrote last week, which is titled "What Does Trump's Win Mean for America?"
Yeah, that would kind of going over policies, because after the election and everything, I didn't know what his policies were, so I thought I'd do a little research myself.
Yeah. So I think this is all pretty useful stuff to kind of learn about and talk about. And that is going to be our first little segment here. Inform ourselves, hopefully maybe inform you a little bit.
Yeah.
And we're going to have a fun time doing it, too. I have some good stories here. But afterwards, it is our Thanksgiving episode.
Yeah.
So what we've done is we've each kind of curated our own perfect Thanksgiving meals.
Oh, yes.
Yeah. So
I put a lot of thought and effort into mine. And I feel like I'm going to get some hate for it.
You probably will from me.
I definitely will from you. For us both agreeing on not liking Thanksgiving food that much, I feel like.
We do agree on that.
We do
that
agree
is
on
true.
that. I think our own meals are vastly different.
They very most likely are. We've litigated the Thanksgiving stuff before, but so we won't beat the dead horse. But neither of us are fans of Thanksgiving food.
Absolutely.
Very much at all. But okay.
Mm-hmm. We can get right into this then.
Yeah. So like I said, we're going to be starting off with talking about the handsome young man that we just elected president, Donald J. Trump. So
not young man, but handsome old man.
So you actually think that half that is true?
I was just going off of what you said. We'll wait till President's Day when we do the tier list to figure it out.
We will.
Right here, I can see it already.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, where do you want to?
Yeah, so I was gonna ask you. So, after having dove into all of his policies, what are like 2 or 3 that stand out to you the most? That you think, to the effect that, what are the most impacting policies that you think he could enact through your research that could impact the most people in the most severe ways?
I thought it was interesting the tax a tax break on tips.
Mm-hmm.
Thought that was interesting. I thought maybe you would put a little more, like, a lot of people don't do like tipping jobs, or some people prefer it because it's very much on their own work and not like just a salary. But I feel like this would have really like if he was able to get taxes off of tips, get a lot more people to want to become a waiter or server, something like that. I don't know if you have an opinion on that.
If I'm not mistaken, that was also a part of Kamala Harris's agenda.
Was it?
So that was a part of both.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, on a surface level, I mean, yeah, sure.
Was he the first to say it though? I thought I saw that. Could be wrong.
I'm not certain of that, but I do know that it's something people use that a lot to kind of talk about how he would be better for the economy in their view. They used that talking point in conjunction with he was going to eliminate taxes on overtime.
That's right. I saw
that was another thing.
Those are like Social Security benefits.
Yeah, which is interesting because if Trump is going to go through and cut as much out of the federal budget as he and his boyfriend Elon Musk want to do, if they actually cut as much out as they are stating that they want to, and again, many of the things that they're saying, I think, is not going to happen.
I mean, that's with a lot of presidencies. They'll say all this big stuff going in.
That's true.
To get people riled up.
And look, maybe it's naive to think that. I mean, I very much want to think that.
Yeah.
Because I'm not a fan of a lot of this.
Yeah.
But yeah, like.
Well, what was I saying? I forgot.
Wait, I had a brain fart too. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to leave you out to dry there. I literally lost my train of thought. What were we talking about?
The tipping. And then I was going to mention tariffs. Oh, so you mentioned Social Security benefits.
Benefits, yeah. Yep. So that's what I was talking about. Okay, sorry. Yeah. Okay. I guess we can just edit that out. Okay, but so Social Security benefits. If they're gonna gouge the federal budget like they say that they are,
mm-hmm.
Social Security would take huge hits, if not be eliminated entirely.
Yeah,
so
I saw that too, and I was like, like I said, it's up in the air, but we'll see what happens.
It is, yeah, and you got to think like, because I've seen people say this. So Donald Trump, from the day he goes into office on January 20th of next year, from the very first day, he's going to be a lame duck because he can't run again.
I guess you're right. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, that's what a lot of people. I notice a lot of Democrats saying like after this, it's done. Like for a lot of Democrats,
well,
like
you would hope so.
Yeah.
And in essence, that means that the Republicans that are going to be working with him throughout the next 4 years, they have to like put themselves in a position where they're electable in a post-Trump era.
Yeah.
So hopefully, and again, this could very well all be super naive, but hopefully, at least from somebody of my persuasion, they're going to govern in a more sensible way that isn't just bowing down to everything that he wants.
Yeah, you might notice a little bit of more people like maybe backing away from certain stuff just to differentiate themselves.
And I think that your word choice there is good because I don't necessarily foresee Republicans like standing up in direct opposition to Trump, but I can definitely see a world where some of them, like you said, distance themselves, maybe more quietly, are like drawing back and not espousing the same kind of extreme rhetoric.
Yeah. I don't know. It'll be exciting to see next election because, I don't know, I think there should be a good balance. Obviously, I think if either Republicans or Democrats but hold office for too long, it just is unbalanced. I think there needs to be that balance, and I'm excited to see how that affects next election, especially with a Republican candidate that isn't Trump.
Fresh faces for both sides.
Yeah.
Right? Because I mean, Kamala Harris was a fresh face, but she was also part of the Biden administration.
Yeah, she was, yeah.
And that there was a lot of baggage with that. And I've honestly seen a lot of critics say that even if it wasn't Kamala Harris, even if it was a Democrat that wasn't associated with the administration anyway, because if you look at it from a global lens, right?
Yeah.
Incumbent parties after the COVID crisis worldwide got voted out. Like, this was a worldwide phenomenon. And of course, the conditions in America are super, super different. And you can make your cases about that. Like, Donald Trump is not normal. I mean, shit, after like 12 years of it here in America, I guess he is. In a traditional sense, in a traditional political sense, Donald Trump is not the norm for a liberal democracy. He's not. Why did I? Oh my God, I'm so bad today. What was I talking about? COVID crisis.
Well, yeah, you're saying not in a. Hold up.
Because you said
he's out of the norm.
Oh yeah. I'm sorry. Okay.
Good.
I apologize. I'm fucking horrible today. I don't know why. But okay. But yeah, so the baggage that was attached to being a part of that incumbent administration was like huge because like Biden's approval rating was something. I mean, don't quote me on this. But if I recall correctly from watching the news on election day, his approval rating was somewhere near like 39%.
Really?
Which, if you're a vice presidential candidate, or no, if you're a presidential candidate who is currently the vice president, and your president has an approval rating that is below 40%, that's not good for you.
Not a good start.
Not good for you at all. And even if it was like somebody else who wasn't with the current administration, like that's your party still. Yeah. And if people, and again, like I'm not going to argue the approval rating because like, sure, but people could not have possibly looked at Donald Trump and thought that he was the better alternative.
Yeah, I don't know. It's like, I think, like I said, it might also have to do with that balance I was talking about. I'm not sure if many other people have that same belief where it's like, I mean, we had a Republican, Democrat, now let's just go back to Republican. I think the Biden administration was not, like you said, the approval rating was low. I think they were more worried that the Biden administration was going to be very similar to the Kamala administration. Even if they don't listen, they're connected.
I agree with you. And I think, and just like, and I say this in the nicest way I can possibly say it, I suppose. But well, I mean, like, a lot of American voters are like really low information, uninformed voters.
I mean, to be an informed voter is a lot, though. I will say. I feel like it is. I mean, to be an informed voter means you have to really pay attention. And so, I mean, I wouldn't really even consider myself an informed voter in the sense, I mean, I didn't watch every debate. I picked up what I heard. And should I have probably done more research before the election night? Yeah, probably. And I think it depends on people's willingness. I think a lot of people look at the center face, Republican, Democrat. a majority of people are going to pick Republican or Democrat no matter who is there because it just fits their...
a lot of people would.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I feel like that to a lot of people is more important. Not saying that's even necessarily a bad thing. I mean, because people do vote however they want to vote. But looking at those, I mean, that's why after the election, I looked at Trump's policies because I was like, I probably should have done this beforehand. And I probably am not the only person who thought I should have looked at this beforehand. And that's why I just I wrote it.
So I see what you're saying. Mm-hmm. And I'm not saying that there's any...
Yeah.
Like, let me try and clarify. I think if you're to a point where you're overlooking so much...
yes.
It's like, and obviously I'm talking about Donald Trump in this instance. Mm-hmm. If you're to the point where you are willing to overlook an insane amount of things, whether it be 34-count felon, whether it be civilly liable sex offender, whether it be tried to overthrow democracy, whether it be his tax plan that he enacted during his administration being the one that we are still under, which I think a lot of people don't understand that.
Yeah, yeah.
So if you have problems with the tax system currently, I mean, you can thank Donald Trump. It's his tax plan.
Yeah.
So whether it be any of those things that you're overlooking, and if you're voting for Donald Trump, you are choosing to overlook all of those things. Mm-hmm. I think you really need to be certain that the things that you are voting for are actually things that are going to benefit you and the people you care about.
Yeah. It's one thing also if you're like someone who just like, you have your own opinion, but just say you're someone who votes Republican because you're, no matter who is the candidate, you just vote Republican. Mm-hmm. It's one thing to like have that belief and keep it to yourself kind of, and there's one thing also to express it to other people and not have like solid information on the stuff you're spreading to other people. Yeah. Because I feel like that's also a factor, and a lot of people see the just headlines or they hear it from someone else. They don't actually look it up themselves. I remember one time, what was it, our first episode, we were like, it takes a 5-minute Google search to look up a lot of this stuff, and I feel like that's kind of overlooked still.
It is overlooked, yeah. People, and like, on a personal level, it's an easy solution. Because, like, if you want to be an informed voter, yeah, it really does take, like, for any given issue, it takes, like, a 2-3 minute Google search. Yep. I mean, seriously, you know?
And I think I noticed, because when I did my research for the Trump story, I was like, wow, there's a lot of articles on this. Like, I'm not...
Yeah.
I mean, a lot of them did them, like I said, after the election. And there was a few before, but I think especially after, they wanted to, like, really make it clear these are the claims he's making. Mm-hmm. And so, yeah, just kind of getting the word out there. I don't know.
Yeah, yeah. And I think people... I think on both sides, right? So I think on the Democratic side, I think people on the Democratic side were kind of fat and happy in the sense that there was a lot of optimism on the Democratic side. There was, like, people were calling it a landslide on the Democratic side, like Kamala was going to win every single swing state. And, like, look, I'm all one for being hopeful.
Yeah.
But obviously that did not happen.
It did not.
It did not happen. The opposite happened. Mm-hmm. But then on the Republican side, like, the person that they elected, people are now being surprised by his cabinet picks. I mean, and to me, it's like, well, what did you expect?
Yeah.
Like, who did you think he was going to appoint, you know? Like,
yeah. I don't know. It's like I said, I think it's because a lot of people were just like, oh, Trump, I'm a Republican, I'll vote Trump. Yeah. And then now they're like, wait, hold up.
And
what's he doing now?
And here's the thing, right? As fun as it is to be a fan of a sports team, I'm a fan of all the Philadelphia sports teams. Do not bring that mentality into politics. That's not what you want to do. Yeah. Because, I mean, and for me personally, despite the fact that I have always voted Democratic, I mean, I've only voted in like 2 elections, but you know, despite the fact that I've only voted for Democratic candidates, that doesn't mean that I'm like ride or die for the Democratic Party. Now, I don't mean that to imply that I've ever voted for a Republican or would ever consider doing that, but I'm not like I said, I'm not ride or die for the Democratic Party because I have issues with the Democratic Party that I would gladly tell you about. I'm not going to say it now because it's not the point, but the most pride you can take in being a voter is not being like a fan or like
getting your sticker.
A diehard. Yeah. Like the most pride you can take in being an American voter is being one that is fully aware of what they're voting for. Yeah. Like knowing the facts and like taking a stance, whether it be a moral stance or an intellectual stance or even just like a personal kind of like how you think the country should be run. Mm-hmm. Voting is voting is a personal. It's a personal endeavor. It's not a collective. It's not like. And like just to finish off this analogy, I know it's like
I get what you mean.
It's ham-fisted, right? But when you're going to vote, you're not watching a Philadelphia Eagles game. You're making a choice.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And and I think people need to understand that more, because like you said, like most people would just vote for whoever from their party is on the ticket. And I think that that's not how you should approach it. And I also think, and again, I'm not going to go more into this because it's not the point, but I think we would do very well in America to have like ranked choice voting, and other measures that encourage the actual existence and like viability of third parties, so that if you want to vote for a third party, not only are you not wasting your vote, but maybe they could even actually gain a voice in Congress.
Yeah.
And ranked choice voting isn't the only way to do that, but I think we should definitely absolutely look into things like that, because the two-party system, I think the two-party system is failing us.
I think it really it divides. I think it's too much of a divide, and it kind of sparks a lot of hate. Yeah. That's from what I noticed. And I don't know. It's interesting you brought up like different kinds of voting, because that's like the first thing I learned in my math class this year, and I was like, this is super. Why have we never picked this up?
Exactly.
I thought it was interesting. Yeah.
You know what it is? Neither the Democrats nor the Republicans want to lose their grip.
Right.
So I'd be shocked if either of them ever actually advocates for that. Now there are some U.S. states.
That's what I'm saying.
There are some states, and again, don't quote me on this, but I believe it's like Alaska, Maine. I think they do this.
Mm-hmm. Well, I think the only way it would ever happen is just if one side was winning too much, then the other side would be like, come on. Let's try something new.
Yeah. But we exist in enough of kind of like, and you were touching on this earlier, we exist in enough of a balance and enough of like a push and pull that they're kind of mostly like content with it.
Yeah.
At least like the establishment, like higher up, like elite in the party, you know?
Yeah.
So, so let's actually get into some of the cabinet picks, because that's a part of what we wanted to talk about
go right
today.
to the cabinet picks.
So, and this is what's happening obviously more recently. You're all hearing about it. So, tell me what you know about Matt Gaetz, Trump's pick for Attorney General.
I've heard the name. I have not heard much, though.
Okay.
I knew that name because I know you talked about this a little bit before filming. I knew that name. I couldn't tell you much about him.
Yeah. So, Matt Gaetz is a congressman from Florida who is, it's generally understood that he is hated. Obviously hated by Democrats, but when I say that, I mean like other Republicans hate him.
Really?
Yes, because he led the effort to McCarthy. Speaker McCarthy, I forget his first name, but he led the effort to dethrone Speaker McCarthy of the House and replace him with Mike Johnson. That was he was the main driving factor behind that, and a lot of the Republicans hated that he did that because when he did that, he made it about him, and it wasn't even really political. It was like personal. It was some sort of vendetta. So Matt Gaetz essentially shook the entire power balance in Congress, made it about him. And he did it in such a way that even fellow Republicans hate him now.
Really?
Furthermore, allegedly, and I guess I'll be saying allegedly for a lot of this because none of it's been proven, but allegedly, Matt Gaetz is also known for showing videos to his fellow congresspeople of like his sexual acts with various women. People have claimed that he would like on the House floor that he would show them videos of the sex stuff he would do. Is that
his equivalent? Like, yo, I saw this TikTok. Like,
yeah. Because if you're doing it on the floor of the United States House of Representatives, you have to think it's normal, right?
It's like, this shit's boring. It's not like this shit.
Yeah. Could you imagine during like voting for a bill, like, hey,
get a load of this.
So,
him, like, check this out.
So there's that, but then the main thing is that. Yeah, so the main thing is that, again, allegedly, Matt Gaetz has been accused of paying a 17-year-old. Yeah, you know exactly where and you're not wrong because you know exactly where this is going. He is accused of paying a 17-year-old to cross state lines so that he could have sex with her.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
So that is Donald Trump's pick for basically the most powerful kind of lawyer in the United States of America.
I was like, what is his cabinet position?
Oh, Attorney General.
Oh.
So Attorney General essentially is a lawyer, kind of.
Yeah. I mean, if this stuff stayed alleged, then he must be.
Well, and the other thing is too, there was a House report on him that was ready to release.
Oh.
But I don't think they've actually had the vote yet. But the Speaker of the House, Mike Johnson, said that he was going to vote to keep the report internal, aka not release it.
Okay.
And the report, of course, was on all of these things. Was on whether it was true that he actually paid a 17-year-old to have sex, and the various kind of misconducts that he's accused of. And they're voting to. It seems that they are going to vote to keep it internal, which to me is like, come on, the American people should know. The American people deserve to know.
Yeah, especially if they're like if it's all true, then why even? I mean, that stuff is illegal.
Obviously,
then why keep it? I don't know.
Not only is it illegal, but it's like
that's crazy.
You wouldn't want your neighbor to do anything, let alone
a politician.
Yeah, let alone Attorney General of the United States of America. And I think it's such a comical pick that people are saying that it's more of kind of like a loyalty test, in the sense that he's putting a ridiculous candidate up just to see how many Senate Republicans will go along with him. Does that make sense?
Oh, okay.
So it's like, it's kind of like, who's with me and who's not, you know? Because this guy's a clown, and so if you vote him in, then I know I can do anything. So that's kind of, who knows if that's actually what it is.
That'd be crazy.
But yeah, but I mean, whether or not that was the intention, he's gonna know. So
yeah, I guess you're right. I know there's two more you wanted to.
Yeah, so there's a few more that are notable. I mean, every single one of them, again, there's 14 out of 25 picked. Every single one of them you could probably have a whole 10-minute segment on, but obviously we're not going to do that. We're going to touch on the interesting ones. So, your boy RFK.
Oh, my God.
Not your boy, but you know.
Your boy.
Yeah. So, RFK, Secretary of Health, which is great.
Oh, yeah.
Make America healthy again, am I right?
Yeah. When I was doing research for the article, I was like, Make America Healthy? What is this? And I watched the video and I was like, oh, it's a real thing.
Mm-hmm. It's real, all right. Where do you even start with Robert F. Kennedy? That's the thing. Where do you even, like...
I don't know. To be honest with you.
So he's an anti-vaxxer. That's one thing.
I remember, yeah.
So yeah,
it was one of those things where when I originally did research for the article, I was like, I've heard of his name before. I'll do a little digging on him. I was like, oh, okay,
yeah,
okay.
And I just, it's so funny to me because it's like, how can you have the same blood as like one of the most well-loved politicians in American history?
Yeah,
and just be that much of an absolute loon? Like how? How is that possible?
It was one of those things where I kept reading and it just kept getting like worse.
Yeah.
Like, oh.
No, seriously, because like, I first heard of RFK at some point last year, you know, because like that's when kind of this election cycle started to ramp up, and I was like, oh, you mean, hey, you know, he's a Kennedy?
He's a Kennedy. Yeah.
That must mean something. And again, like you, the more I was like, oh.
Didn't he have didn't he have a campaign?
Yeah, no, he was running as an independent.
I remember. I think it was the Super Bowl. I remember one of his campaigns.
Yes.
It was weird though. It was. Yeah. I remember that ad being weird.
And the whole situation of him dropping out of the race has been, like, kind of analyzed as well, because if you recall, when RFK dropped out of the race, he immediately endorsed Trump.
Really?
And many people were saying, even at the time, that was some sort of backdoor dealing, that RFK was being promised a position. And as you can see now, that has happened.
Yeah.
So, and again, you know, allegedly, I guess. Yeah. I'll throw that word in there.
I mean, yeah, it's really tough to say. I mean, a lot of these politicians, I mean, like you said, even when you think there's so much alleged stuff, but a lot of it never just gets confirmed.
Yeah, no, we'll probably never know. But I know I was talking to you about this earlier. His whole thing with not wanting chemicals in our foods and
that's right,
removing all that stuff. You love your Cheez-Its. You might not have those anymore.
No. I refuse to believe that. Refuse.
But yeah, I mean, you know the story about like the dead baby bear that he.
No.
Are you unaware of that story?
I'm unaware of the story.
So. I thought you would know about this. How do you not know about this? Now I have to research it, make sure I have it right.
Bad start to a story, though. The dead baby bear.
Okay. So the headline from NPR. How do you not know this?
I use Instagram as my news source. I mean, that's all.
God, don't say that.
This is a journalist right here saying he uses Instagram as his main news source.
I go on BBC every once in a while, okay?
The British Broadcast Company?
Yeah, I do. They have a U.S. section.
Okay. Connor's literally on BBC right now.
And I go on New York Times to play the games. I see the headlines and then I click games.
So you go on the website, you're like, oh look at that, games. Yeah.
Yeah, I was like, oh, it's new strands.
Okay, so the headline here, and this is basically what happened.
Yeah.
RFK Jr. NPR, by the way, RFK Jr. admits to dumping a dead bear in Central Park, solving a decade-old mystery.
Oh my God.
Yeah, so I mean that happened. That did happen because he wanted to cook it apparently.
This is great. I have never heard of this.
Yeah, because he found it. Let me actually scroll down a little bit further.
Yeah.
So.
Like, did he have the? There's not just bears in Central Park. Is there?
And I like the way they describe him in this theory too. They describe him as, quote, the conspiracy theorist turned third-party candidate. Oh yeah, and you know about the brain worm, right?
No. Okay, like RFK Jr. I knew nothing about him before doing this.
Okay, quote. I'll just read the whole thing.
Yeah.
The conspiracy theorist turned third-party candidate's campaign has weathered a series of increasingly improbable-sounding scandals in recent months, from Kennedy's admission that a worm ate part of his brain to his denial of reports that he once ate barbecue dog. In parentheses, he said it was a goat.
What?
So,
like, I did read. How did I miss this part of the?
I don't know how you
like,
missed it. I don't know.
It must have just been on his policies because I never saw any of these stories.
So that is who is in charge of our public health.
Great.
So it's great. It's great. The next 4 years are gonna be amazing.
Fun.
Yes.
Maybe he'll drop some more. Like maybe he'll just solve more mysteries like that. Like yeah, what was it?
Solve more mysteries.
Because I just said the article. It was the headline. It was like unsolved mystery. Like,
Oh yeah.
like finally solved.
What are some other mysteries you think he could solve for us? What do you think? Do you think he was the other person that shot at John F. Kennedy?
Yeah, that's probably him. No, he'll be like, I was hanging out with like Bigfoot earlier. Like, hold up.
He would have claimed that with a straight face. He would. And by the way,
yeah.
Hilarious photo. Maybe we can put it up in the final cut. So our RFK, his whole thing is like taking the chemicals out of food, making America healthy again.
Yeah.
You know, eating pure, whatever. There's a great picture of so first of all, nightmare rotation in this photo. It's Elon Musk, it's Donald Trump, it's Don Jr. I think one of his derelict sons. Mike Johnson and RFK.
Yeah.
And in the photo, all of them, including RFK, are just straight up eating McDonald's.
Are you serious?
Yes. It is an amazing photo. Oh my God, it's so good.
God.
But great.
Oh
that's
God.
awesome.
That nightmare rotation.
Yes. So the last one that I think is good. You'll get a kick out of.
Yeah.
So, Kristi Noem for Homeland Security.
Okay.
The position. I'm not talking about her specific appointment, but Kristi Noem, right?
Yeah.
I would ask you what you know about Kristi Noem, but I feel like you probably don't know much.
Not much.
And that's no offense to you,
Yeah.
because she's like the governor of South Dakota or something.
Oh,
like that.
okay.
Yeah, South Dakota governor. Yeah,
Okay.
Kristi Noem. So why would you know? I didn't know either until. But yeah, so Kristi Noem wrote in a book. She wrote in a book. Like this is like she freely admitted this.
Okay.
That she, and again, I want to make sure I get this right. Hold on. Wait, I'm sorry. I want to actually.
Gotta get this right.
I got to get this right. Yeah.
I should just start looking up every name, like every politician I know, and just look up like controversy, and then see what story pops up. Because there's got to be at least one.
There
story
will.
like
There
this.
will be. Any person on that list that you look up, there will be controversy.
That's
That is
crazy.
for certain. Kristi Noem in a book wrote about how she had a 14-month-old dog whose name was Cricket.
Okay.
So Cricket got loose and attacked her neighbor's chickens.
Whoa.
And she nipped, that's the word that's being used in this article, by the Humane Society. She nipped at Noem as she retrieved him. Do you want to guess what her reaction to this was? So just to reiterate, so the dog gets loose, bites some of the neighbor's chickens, and kind of snaps at her when she tries to pull the dog back. What is a reasonable reaction to the situation?
So it's trying to bite at you?
Like, little snap.
Little snap.
Yeah,
okay,
yeah.
well.
And she also described the dog as, quote, untrainable. And kind of things of that nature. So again,
I don't know. I'm not as much of a dog. I never owned a dog.
what would you do? What do you think is the most reasonable
You gotta
reaction?
take that down to the vet.
Take it to the vet.
You gotta take that.
Take it to the vet. Maybe try some more training procedures.
Yeah, there has to be someone who can train it. There's like dog trainers you can.
Yeah,
Like,
because it's a 14-month-old puppy at that point, right?
Yeah,
like,
that's
like,
still young.
like you're thinking like all it did was bite some chickens. All it did was kind of snap at you.
Yeah.
So take it back.
It's trying to gain dominance.
Bad dog.
Yeah.
Take it to a trainer. Take it to the vet. Whatever.
Yeah.
So Christy Nome shot it. Christy Nome shot and killed her dog because of that.
Oh my god.
That was her reasonable reaction to that situation.
She just had it on her and started biting and.
Yeah. So she said, "quote I hated that dog," and
Oh my god.
she drugged the dog to a gravel pit, and shot it dead.
That's crazy.
Mm-hmm.
You can't do that.
Apparently you can. Secretary of Homeland Security, by the way.
That's the. Jesus Christ. Like the fact, the fact, you not only did it, and we're like, I gotta write it. I gotta tell some people about this.
It was like she was like braggadocious about it.
Yeah, I hated that dog. I hate a lot of things.
14-month-old dog.
I don't take it to the gravel pit and shoot it. Like, what the hell? Oh, God.
You can't just shoot everything that you hate.
I know, that's horrible. Like, you know how many other people would have taken that dog, too?
Yes. Well, it was South Dakota, so there might only have been like 3 other people.
Yeah, you know what? That's a good point.
Yeah.
Oh, my God. I don't like learning about politics.
No. Well, I love learning about politics because it's so fun. Politics is so fun, Sam.
Is it? That's switch from English.
It's really It's really
from Libya.
It's really really great. And just as a side note, so Secretary of Defense Pete Hegseth just straight up thinks that women should not be allowed in combat roles.
Did he say that?
Yeah. So that's
how
great.
recent.
I don't know how recent it is, but he did say that.
Okay.
So
still. Not like how his recency would have been like, oh, that was okay to say.
Yeah.
No, I'm not trying to say that. I'm saying.
No, I know what you mean, but sexism in the military.
Yeah.
Well, really just sexism all over the place. Yeah. That's what this is. Now onto our celebration of Thanksgiving.
Less of a celebration.
more of kind of a
revamp.
We're airing our grievances about Thanksgiving because we both have them.
Yeah.
By the way, do you remember when I told you about I ate a donut in the shower?
Yeah. You didn't do it again.
No, I didn't do it again. Okay. I ate a donut out of my trunk.
Elaborate on that. Like, the donut was from your trunk, or
so I had them. I had them from like they were like leftovers from like they were leftovers from work, and I had them in my car. And so here's what happened, right? So I had them in my car on Sunday, and I drove here. I drove here to hang out with my girlfriend on Sunday.
Yes.
And I was like, so I parked the car and I was like, well, I don't really feel like carrying that box all the way up to
Yeah.
So I left the box in the car.
Okay.
I come back the next day. I'm pretty hungry because I didn't have lunch.
Mm-hmm.
I pop open the trunk to put my stuff in. I'm like, got some donuts. Nice.
Jesus.
So I flip it open. I didn't even know what it was. I took a gamble. It was like some cinnamon glaze. It was really good. And here's the craziest part too. The car kept it fresh.
Really? Is that how that works?
Because think about it, right? It's like it's almost like keeping it in the refrigerator. Because it's cold now. So like
it is
at nighttime
cold
it's cold.
now.
So it would be I will say this, it would be entirely different if it was like the summertime. Because then they just like sit in there and melt probably.
Isn't that the equivalent of like you leaving food out in your home like, oh, but my AC was on?
No. Because it's an enclosed space. And like your car is outside. So it's like 40 degrees at night. Like it's really getting down there, you know?
Yeah.
And so I popped up my trunk. I had it. It was as if it just came out of the oven.
Really?
Yeah.
I think this is hard for me to grasp. As a, not donut hater, but donut not liker. The fact I just never would think like, oh, I'm putting my stuff away. I could really use a donut right now.
I didn't have lunch.
I guess you didn't have lunch.
And they were there.
The thing is, yes, of course, like, if donut was there, would have taken it. I just that option would never be available.
Long story short, I found myself scarfing down some cinnamon glaze in the parking lot.
Oh, you didn't like eat it while driving? You just
no. I just kind of like I was like sitting by my trunk.
Hell yeah,
and it was
still pretty cool.
I'm telling you, man. It was good. It was
Are
good.
you just trying now to eat donuts in random
I don't know
places?
how I found myself in those situations, but I have, and I've taken advantage of them to say the
Yeah.
least.
At least you're taking advantage of them. You're not wasting.
Yeah.
God.
To continue about food.
Oh yeah.
So here's what we've done.
Yes.
So because this is the Thanksgiving episode.
Yeah.
So Sam and I, in our conversations, have a well-documented dislike of most Thanksgiving foods.
I'd say most of them. Yeah.
Yeah, big corn on the cob fan, but we've talked
We'll
about
get
that before. But yeah, so most Thanksgiving foods neither of us are a fan of. So what we've done today is we've kind of concocted our own personal like dream Thanksgiving dinners,
Yes.
and by this we don't mean like picking out our favorite specifically Thanksgiving foods necessarily. These are like basically like if we had like. Maybe this is more of like a final meal type thing.
Yeah, you're right.
But we're dressing it up as like it's Thanksgiving. So if we were to have a feast and we could have whatever we want.
Mhm.
So like a dream Thanksgiving, this is what it would be.
That's a good point because I think my meal could also have been my last meal.
Yeah,
Like
exactly.
I didn't
Yeah,
even
yeah,
think
yeah.
about it that way. But
I honestly only thought of that right now, but it's like
yeah.
it's but it's a Thanksgiving episode though. Don't get it twisted. This is Thanksgiving.
Yes,
Okay,
and
so-
I would present this meal to my family,
you would,
and
that's
I would
good.
say this is
That is good.
yeah
Okay, so how about we get right into it? So
entree.
well, appetizer.
Oh, appetizer first. Okay.
So what is your appetizer or multiple? You know, have as many as you want.
I want to see what you say first.
What I say?
Yeah.
So I would definitely have. I love garlic bread.
Ooh,
Garlic bread is delicious.
it is really good.
And I might have some more Italian picks on my list here, but garlic bread, and I could probably name a few additional ones, but garlic bread is just. Because bread on its own is just a great appetizer.
Yes.
That's why they give it to you like every restaurant ever.
Mm-hmm.
Garlic bread, though?
Yeah.
Add in some olive oil.
Ooh, quit playing.
Add in some cheese, maybe? If you're feeling
If you're
a
feeling
little
up to
frisky.
it.
If you're feeling frisky, add some cheese into it, man. I mean, that goes for anything. Like, any situation in life, if you're feeling frisky, add some cheese.
Add some cheese to it.
Like,
Really
you know what I'm
spice it up.
saying?
Yeah.
Yeah. Long flight, feeling frisky, add some cheese.
Mhm.
You know?
So
That'll end well.
My appetizer came to me in a vision.
Okay.
I saw it. and-
Was this a religious vision or was
No.
it more, okay.
No, it was more of like a hunger, like I need something to eat. And I thought about it because, like, okay, I knew something had to be included. But I didn't know the correct way to do it.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, casseroles are nice.
Casserole's not an appetizer,
Isn't that
though.
But think about this. Wait till I add. Wait till I add.
Okay.
Because I'm mixing a level of snacking into the mix.
Okay.
We're going cheese at casserole. Now hear me out. I have a feeling I think this is the only way I can really put it in there. It has to be in the main meal somewhere. And I feel like this
It just has to be. There's no
It
way
has
it's
to
not.
be.
Okay.
and I feel like to really authenticate my Thanksgiving meal, I had to put it in there. And I felt bad if I was like, all right guys, eat my favorite snack. Come on, that's rude.
So is it cheese at casserole something that you've had before?
No. Like I said, I saw it in a vision.
Okay.
And I see it on the dining table, and it's beautiful.
So when I said dream Thanksgiving dinners, that was like very literal for you. Like like this was in a dream, like this was in a vision.
Yeah, this is
like
that was the only one that came to me in the vision. But I already had the rest of my meal figured out. And I was like,
so. What
everyone gets a spoonful.
did your vision only a spoonful?
Yeah, it has to be an appetizer. You can't be too full. And my sides are. I already knew my side from the get go.
Yeah, I know what it is. Did your vision tell you what is in the cheese at casserole? By any chance? Because here's my thing. I don't know how you make a casserole out of a cracker.
So the idea is like it's just like base casserole.
Mm-hmm.
Don't know much about casseroles.
Base casserole. Casserole's not like casserole's not like an item or like an ingredient. Casserole is what
Imagine
you get. Casserole is what you get at the end. You don't get to start by saying, okay, so we're gonna start with casserole.
There was potatoes in there.
So there's potatoes.
There was
okay.
potatoes in
What
there.
kind of potatoes?
Dude, do you think I know anything about potatoes? Like
Just potato. Just
not like a
just
whole
full
potato,
potatoes.
not
a
a full
sack
potato.
of potatoes.
No,
in there?
no, like sliced, maybe a little
Sliced
maybe a little
potatoes.
cooked.
Sliced cooked potatoes.
yes.
Good.
Like yeah.
Good.
I thought
Yeah.
you meant like the type.
No, not the type. Like,
That's why I was like, you don't think I know anything about potatoes. Some veggies in there. But the idea is that it's not like mixed in. There's the whole cracker in there.
Mm-hmm. It's not crushed.
It's not. That would ruin it. Don't even make it at that point if you're just gonna mess it up.
I wouldn't make it in the first place.
And maybe I'll bring this up when I go back home for Thanksgiving.
This to me sounds like some like Soviet Union, like they didn't have any food, so they had to like raid the pantry and like cook what they had.
And you know what? I think it's like man, I forget how chocolate chip cookies were made, but it's like they added in chocolate because they were like, oh, we don't have this.
Yeah, it was like a happy accident.
It was a happy accident. Yeah. I think that's what I'm doing right now.
But this is not an accident. This is
it came to me in a vision.
Came to you in a vision. Okay.
I saw it so perfectly. I was like thinking about it. I was like, okay, cheeses have to be in. What am I missing? Appetizer. Hold up.
You know what's funny to me? Like the exact thing that is happening right now, like you just had a vision. Entire religions have been founded off of this. Like Mormonism, like is like.
Yeah. I was in the woods.
Yeah. Like if you substitute your cheese at casserole with a message from God, you're basically you could start something.
There was nothing religious about mine though. It just
did it also tell you that in addition to the cheese at casserole, you could take multiple wives?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So while you're at it, at my dinner, I saw the dining table. There were multiple wives there.
All your wives.
All my wives.
Okay.
No one else's. It's just me and my multiple
You and
wives.
your happy little family. Yeah. Eating cheese at casserole.
There's other things.
Where the first ingredient is casserole. You start with some casserole and then you add some Cheez-Its and then.
You really start with a casserole and then you kind of bake the Cheez-Its in.
Okay, there we go. I think my head's unplugged for a second. Sorry.
Oh, okay.
I think we're good.
I do agree with garlic bread though. That's not bad. And like I said, it's not a big appetite. It's if you have a good family size, you make one like tray and everyone gets a spoonful.
I mean, an appetizer should be more than one spoonful. Like,
I could do with one piece of garlic bread though. That's what I thought.
That's different though, because that's like, and again, like this is funny to me because like we shouldn't even really be having this conversation because casserole is not an appetizer. Casserole is like a main dish.
It's not the main dish. I'm telling you.
I understand that in your application it's not, but like nobody has ever made a casserole.
That's an appetizer.
That's like an appetizer because it's not like a casserole and like a casserole like by definition is like very thick. And like
I thought about making it as like my second side, like doing two sides, but then I was like, I don't know, the different appetizer.
You know, and again, it's totally fair. It's your dream dinner, but I'm just saying, like, I don't think I've ever heard that happen. Like,
that has to have happened once. I can't be the first. I think cheese at casserole maybe on my own. I didn't look it up.
I know.
Maybe it's. I mean, in the sense of like maybe someone already made it. I feel like I'm copying them. This was a vision, but we can go.
I believe you.
So that's how we're starting off. Not entree.
So, I do feel a little outclassed because as ridiculous as that's a very funny idea. But okay. Okay. So what do you want to do next?
I'm actually doing. You know what? I think I have to keep it as a meat. I thought, like.
Oh yeah, but sorry. So do you want to do sides or entree next?
Let's go to entree.
Entree. Okay.
For entree, I was like, I'm gonna keep it as a meat. I feel like that's.
You have to.
I felt a little, especially because Thanksgiving. Maybe if it was like I said, like final meal, I wouldn't have picked it. But I could see it as my final meal.
Yeah.
I'm going just steak. Steak, medium. We're going medium. Because that I come from a medium well family.
Medium well. So okay, I'm not super versed. So I get medium rare. Is medium more cooked or less cooked than medium?
Medium
rare?
is more cooked.
It's more cooked.
It's a little. It's like okay, so like it's like in between. It's not super pink, but it's a little.
Yeah.
And that's how I like it because if I get medium rare, a place can overdo it, and then it becomes like too much.
You think so?
Yeah. Like I'm getting medium. Most of the time they do a little more pink than gray, which I prefer.
Yeah.
But if I'm worried about it, like them overdoing the gray, but the thing is, I'm used to gray.
What's the gray?
That's the cooked. I'm looking at colors here. Like the gray is the cooked.
If you're eating gray steak, my friend, I think
the inside's gray. Yeah, it is. No, it's like it's. What color is it then?
It's like brown. Like steak is not gray. What do you?
It's more gray than brown.
You're eating that food RFK's talking about. That's what
Fine, we'll go brown. Pink or brown.
No, don't try to appease me. If you're eating gray steak, that's what you're eating. You got to stand by that.
There is no I'm eating gray steak. Steak is gray. If I'm looking at steak, no.
Dude, like, and I'm not gonna linger on this, but I don't know what you're eating, but it's
Okay, maybe I'm not looking at it too much. I'm just eating it. But from the moments I'm looking at it, that John's gray.
okay.
Okay, no.
There are two possibilities here. Okay, either you are colorblind, or
Look at the right. That one's gray. The inside, because there's a brown exterior. Put this picture in. Because the outside, yes, is brown. That sauce is brown. The inside's gray. The people at home will agree. Okay. This also stems from I'm actually having steak for Thanksgiving this year.
you okay?
Yeah.
That's fair.
I think I thought of that beforehand. I could be wrong. But yeah, what was I saying? I think medium is a good balance, and I come from a medium well family, so it's.
At least you're not a well done guy.
No.
Yeah, because that's.
I think also, but I think people make fun of the medium well guys, but I think also rare is enough to make fun of. Rare is ridiculous, I think.
Yeah, I appreciate that a protein has to be a part of the entree.
Yeah.
Because if you're the type of person who has like a salad as like your meal and that's it.
Yeah.
I don't think you should like receive tax benefits. Like I think we should send you out into the woods so you can live your life.
Yeah.
Because clearly
you love it you love the.
Yeah, because if you want to act all morally superior and righteous.
And maybe they're not doing that.
Go be a hunter gatherer.
It feels like that though. Every time like I'll have a salad.
Yeah. It sounds like that. It does.
Because they're never first.
No.
They're always second.
No.
They always pick their meal second.
Because somebody orders like a ham sandwich and they're like, I'll have a salad. I'll have a salad. Did you hear that? I'll have a salad.
Like they say it quiet the first time so they can say it louder. The next time.
Yeah.
Bro.
Oh my god.
Don't go out to dinner with me.
Salad is such a pick me thing to order at a restaurant.
Really is.
I know.
Oh my god. Okay. Your entree.
For my entree, I would definitely have to go with, and again, I mean I'm biased because I'm Italian.
Okay.
That's probably obvious from just my appearance. But any kind of like, and I will get specific. I'm not gonna.
Okay.
So like, a nice cheesy like carbonara is amazing. Have you ever had that?
No.
So so you can do it with any pasta.
Mm-hmm.
I've had it with a penne.
Okay.
And it's a very creamy kind of cheesy pasta, with like prosciutto and ham in it.
Oh.
And it's super rich and it's super delicious.
Okay.
So good.
This is very intricate. I like it.
Yeah. Oh, it's so good. But okay, and so that's something that I would make myself. But my two favorite things in the entire world, I'll tell you this.
Mm-hmm.
And not sponsored, but hey, please sponsor us, please. So Nick's roast beef. I don't know if you've ever been there.
No.
So there's actually a place nearby Westchester.
Oh.
But Nick's roast beef, a roast beef sandwich from there. Ugh, amazing, so good. And also Han Dynasty, which is a restaurant. They have a few locations
I've heard of that,
near
yeah.
Philadelphia. You've heard of it?
I think I've heard of that. Yeah.
Because there's actually a location in Exton, so nearby here.
Oh yeah, you know what? Yeah.
So they're Don Don noodles. Ugh, so good. So good. Oh my god. So if I could pick three entrees, it'd be those three things.
Okay.
They totally do not complement each other at all.
The second one was what was it again? The
roast beef sandwich.
Roast beef's kind of tainted for me because it's like whenever I think about Arby's.
Don't think about Arby's.
Think about Arby's.
Don't think about Arby's just in general, like ever. There's no reason to do that.
Their ads are everywhere, man.
Are they everywhere? Or
I see them.
I think you're just.
I think I get they have meats, but like.
You might just be in the Arby's sphere because.
The Arby's sphere.
Yeah, you might.
I swear to you, I have not been in
Look,
Arby's.
you're eating gray steak.
Don't
you know,
even dare
you're thinking about cheese and
call me on
casseroles.
the Arby's
I think
sphere.
you might. Yeah, you might just be in their demographics of who they're trying to market to. You might be in the Arby's sphere. You might be.
The curly fries are good. I've had it once. Also, real quick before we go to the sides, you know where I've had the best steak ever?
Where's that?
Surprising.
Where?
Had it once. Chili's.
It's the best steak ever.
I'm telling you.
Oh my god!
If you want a steak, go to
at Chili's.
I've never been to a steak. Again, actually, I've been to Texas Roadhouse. That's my definition of a steakhouse. If you want a good steak, they put. I don't know what they put on that thing. Like,
dude,
it was I was like, and you know, I go to Chili's. And I was like, nah, steak sounds good. It was a night. Me and my dad. And I was like, I guess I'll go to steak. Holy.
That's like saying the best pizza you've ever had is from Chuck E. Cheese.
You haven't Chuck E. We'll get into that a different time. But I'm telling you, next time I'm not even trying to like get you to spend all your money, but you have to try it once. It was on, and look, maybe it was because I was like 14.
It probably was.
And I haven't had I've gone the thing is I've gone to Texas Roadhouse, I've gone to Outback, I've gone to all those the places since. Have not lived up to the chili stick I had. Oh my god. Sides.
You go first for sides. Because I need to lock in.
Okay, sides was a lock for me from day one. It's corn on the cob.
Corn on the cob.
Now,
yeah.
I think when I originally brought this up, I was in a room full of a lot of people and I got a lot of hate. They're like, who eats corn on the cob on Thanksgiving? Now, I've done no research, I should say. Zero.
Yeah.
It had to have been there at the first Thanksgiving. That's my thing.
It seems like it could have been. But also, why is, like...
And I feel like...
Do you like to role play? Do you eat your corn? Is that what you like to do?
I act like I'm there.
Yeah.
No. I feel like, okay, like, it's also just one of my favorite things. I couldn't imagine a great meal without it.
There's no universe where a great meal doesn't
there's a few probably, but if I'm making my own, like, great meal, it's hard to not imagine it there.
It doesn't have enough going on for me. It just doesn't. I don't know.
Fine. What's your side then? If it's so much better.
Do you feel like a little rodent when you're eating it, like
a little bit,
like that?
A little fun.
Is that fun to you?
I take big chomps.
Because like I will say, like it's kind of like a little mini game when you're.
I'm saying corn. It's a fun food. I'm not. That's what I'm saying. People who are like, oh, I'll just eat. They prefer corn just like in a bowl or something, or on a like. You serious? That's more fun. Like, this is a little activity, and also it's accomplishing because then you have an empty like cob.
An empty cob.
I don't know.
Hey, like so do you try and like 100% completion like
I do. Yeah, sometimes I'm feeling up to it.
Yeah.
Yeah. If it's my first one and I know I'm gonna get another one. Cause like if I get my first one, I want to wait a second. I don't want to be that guy who's like eating all the corn on the cob. It's like, what the dude, save some for the rest. So I'll like try to 100% my first one. I maybe won't 100% my second one.
Let me see. So for my
headset,
my headset speed. Sorry, it's just the headset. It's fine.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I feel like any sort of, and again, I'll get more specific, but any sort of like kind of like loaded fry is like really good to me.
Oh, that's good.
And again, not sponsored, but like at Nick's Roast Beef, you can get, and these really are some of my favorite things ever.
Oh.
You can get gravy fries.
Like poutine.
Yeah, essentially, yes.
Yeah.
But I mean, not quite though, right? Because it's like because they get like the juices and like the tiny shreds of like the beef, and they just dump it over the fries.
Oh.
And I'm telling you, right, I'm so serious. It is maybe like the most delicious thing you'll ever have, like
that
ever, like period. It is just oh my god.
I used to go to a poutine place, Bethlehem.
A dedicated poutine place.
It was called the Flying V. I'd love to get sponsored by them. It was just poutine.
We're racking up sponsors today. They're all gonna contact us. Yeah.
No, I actually okay. I love the Flying V.
Yeah.
It was mostly poutine. It was like I think their company was from Canada.
Okay.
They also did the reason why we used to go there like everyone like at least like once a month because they have a Liverpool fan club.
Huh.
In the upstairs, and we were there one time to like so when we knew someone from high school there and like, oh hey like, they're watching the game. You should come up. And I was like, all right, whatever, we'll check it out. There's like 50 people up there.
Wow.
All like old drunk people, and they're just yelling at this one TV in like the corner.
Oh my god.
And we used to go there at least once a month.
That sounds fun though. I'm
Dude,
not even gonna lie to you. That sounds like a good time.
I haven't gone in probably a year, but that time was no, it was actually less than a year, but still.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah. And poutine is delicious.
Oh yeah,
poutine is so good.
And the thing is like, you'd watch the first half, then you'd go to halftime, go get poutine, come back up.
Dude, that's awesome. That's like sick. My God.
I guess we'll do drink and dessert.
Drink and then dessert.
Because they're both pretty small.
Yes. So, what is your? If you only pick one, what's your drink?
Drink. We'll go start with drink. So, I know I said I wasn't gonna be like, have my favorite thing.
But this is about you.
Yeah, this is me. Yeah. And I feel like this really complements my appetizer from having Cheez-Its.
It complements non-existent food. Okay.
Yeah. Well, it can be made. But I've noticed from eating Cheez-Its, the best drink that complements that is Dr. Pepper. And that's why it's
See, okay, I'm not a personal fan of Dr. Pepper, but it's like I could.
I
Yeah,
think
no, I get it. I get it.
the thing though is that it's not like a Coke where I think everyone is pretty like, okay, I'll have a Coke.
Mm.
I think a few people are mixed
Well,
on Dr.
see,
Pepper.
that's a boomer bust pick.
Yeah.
Because if you're imagining a situation where like this is like a Thanksgiving dinner with like all of your wives,
Yeah.
that as we've established, like what if some of your wives don't? Because like people, because again we've discussed this before. Dr. Pepper, you hate it or you love it.
Yeah.
Really.
And the thing is, my whole thing is that if you're gonna sit there and you're not gonna drink Dr. Pepper, you don't have to sit there at all.
So they just have no place at your table if they don't want Dr. Pepper.
You can go sit at the kids' table if you don't want to grow up.
Okay. If you don't want to grow up and have some soda, you can sit at the kids' table.
That's my take on it, though. And then, do you want to do your drink real quick?
Yeah.
Okay.
So I absolutely love, and I have it with like most, like if I'm like cooking a proper meal, I have it with almost every meal I have, like tea cooler, you know what I mean, like iced tea lemonade,
Oh.
like half and half.
Oh yeah, half and half. Yeah.
Like
yeah, yeah.
Arnold Palmer, like
Yes,
type half and half.
yeah.
It just goes with everything. I don't know. It tastes so good, and it goes with anything, and I love it. And it's so refreshing. It's refreshing.
I can't say I've had it many times. And the thing, I mean, I'm not a big. It's rare that I have iced tea, at all. And I understand it's half and half, but, and so like, it just was never really around me growing up.
Yeah.
So like, I'm not used to it, but I could, if that was at my table, I'd happily drink it. Happily.
Yeah. Okay. Sure. Yeah.
And so, isn't it something I'm not something I'm repulsed by? I'm like
And
no.
and I'm not repulsed by Dr. Pepper either. I don't prefer it.
Yeah.
You know. So, like we agree to disagree.
And my dessert. Now for dessert,
yeah.
this may be a basic option. Okay, it's new because I didn't have it until I got here, and I had it in the dining hall, and I was like, I've been missing out. Apple pie.
Apple pie.
Yeah. Never had it until I got here.
The dining hall.
Yeah.
Apple pie is what got you onto apple pie.
Oh my god, it's so good. Yeah. Have you tried it?
Yes.
Yeah, and it's so good.
But I can't imagine it's.
What do you mean it's not good?
Do you believe that fruit has a place in dessert?
Yes. Uh-oh.
Fruit has no place in dessert.
No
my friend.
place. What
Fruit-
about banana split?
No.
Never had one, but
Banana split. That we got to bring banana splits back.
yeah.
That's an old head dessert. We need that. What?
You even like bananas.
No, but I don't like banana splits, but I enjoy the thought of like walking into an ice cream shop and seeing somebody go to town on a banana split.
Or like a
Because that would really like put you in the mood. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like if like you walk in, you see like a banana crested upon a scoop of vanilla.
Yeah. Oh my god.
That's that's like vintage shit.
You know
Like, you know?
You don't. You
Like
don't-
like that clears the head when you walk in. You see
Oh my
that you're like,
God,
okay,
that-
like this is a real place.
I can call
like,
this place home.
Yeah.
Do
Yeah.
you know what should be brought to reality?
What's that?
You ever seen a SpongeBob movie?
Oh yeah.
A triple gooberberry sunrise.
That did look pretty good.
I would mess up a triple gooberberry sunrise.
Well, we've established before that you would mess up anything from SpongeBob because you had the Wendy's,
That's right. Yeah.
which was literally just a burger, as I've told you. But to each their own. To each their own.
It's so much more than that. But if that was brought to reality, I would go across a few state lines to get that.
I'm sure you would.
Yeah. No, but going back to apple pie, and then I had apple pie at dining hall. I was like, this is great. They don't really have it anymore, probably because it's out of season. But then my friend made an apple pie, and I tried it, and I was like, this is good. Like, I didn't think the dining hall apple pie was, not to say, I don't know. I don't want to say that my friend's apple pie was bad, because it was really good. Really good.
Uh-huh.
Didn't have the only other apple pie I had to compare it to was the dining hall apple pie, and I could say they're both very good.
So your friend made a homemade apple pie, and you're saying that it was comparable, if not worse than.
No, it wasn't
something
worse.
that-
It definitely wasn't worse.
but it was comparable.
It
to
was
something
comparable
that
to
you
the-
got from the dining hall here.
Yes.
Don't tell your friend that.
I don't think they watch. Maybe they use similar recipes.
Maybe.
But your dessert. Go ahead. That was okay. That's
I-
my encompassing meal though.
Yeah.
Is you start off with a Cheez-It casserole, a spoonful.
A single spoonful.
Then you make
Be
your way
modest.
to steak,
Mm-hmm.
medium. Then you with that your corn on the cob, go between the two. Your drink, Dr. Pepper right there, and then once it finish it off, you have a slice of apple pie. That is a damn good meal.
And then you tell all your wives how grateful you are for each and every single one of them.
Probably not.
My dessert is definitely, and I love it so much, but it's kind of one of those things where they don't have it at a lot of places, but a chocolate lava cake.
Ooh.
Amazing. Yeah. Oh, man. I don't know. There's like nothing better than that.
And I see that. I see what you're saying here. I think I never was really a chocolate, like, I like chocolate, but chocolate things, I'm not, like chocolate milkshake, for example, like, is that your go-to milkshake, if you're getting a milkshake?
Chocolate milkshake, yeah.
I've always been a strawberry kid.
At least you're not vanilla. You're not vanilla.
Hey. No, I don't trust vanilla people.
No. If your favorite flavor of ice cream is vanilla, which is basically just saying, like, no taste whatsoever, then I think you kill people for fun. Yeah. I think you're a serial killer. I think if that's your favorite ice cream flavor.
You kill people.
Yeah.
No, it is though, because it's like the whole like if you just drink milk.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's like Patrick Bateman levels of insanity. That's like.
What I'm saying, for folks out there going to an ice cream store, strawberry is not the same as is not similar at all to tea berry. Don't get the two mixed up. I saw it. Okay, it also is pink. I went to get ice cream with my girlfriend one time. I was like, oh, tea berry.
But you read it and you knew that it had a different name.
I knew it had a different name, but I was like, it has to be like kind of similar. It tastes like Pepto-Bismol. Do not get it. Putting out a little warning. But no, that is a fair option though. Yeah, that's fair. I think Domino's. You can get a
dude. Domino's has like French 5-star restaurant tier chocolate lava cakes. I'm not even kidding. I wasn't gonna say it. I wasn't even gonna say it, but like
that's the first thing I thought of when you brought it up was that Domino's. I'm pretty sure.
Dude, next time you go to Domino's, get them, and they give you 3 of them. They give you 3.
How big are they? Is it like one per person? You say?
It's like
you could split that.
Well, you probably wouldn't split an individual one.
Okay.
But it's like it's just enough for like one person. Okay. And they give you 3 in a box, so it's like.
You know what?
Get them, dude.
I'll get them.
Like close your eyes and just imagine that you're on the side of a street in Paris, and you're just eating the most decadent European chocolate as it melts in your mouth.
And then you open your eyes and you're in a dirty Domino's restaurant.
No.
With your greasy pizza in front.
You wouldn't be eating it in Domino's because I don't know who eats in Domino's. Which is funny because they do have chairs and tables in Domino's, but I've never seen somebody like, hey, let's go to Domino's and eat at Domino's.
Yeah. I did that once at a Pizza Hut, but that was like a special occasion.
At a Pizza Hut is more like.
I guess it's like a wing street. I guess it's more of a sit down.
It's more of a sit down place.
Mm-hmm. But what's your meal? A full meal?
My comprehensive meal. So garlic bread to start off.
Yeah.
Entree, any combination of a nice carbonara, or a roast beef sandwich, or some don don noodles.
Ooh, okay.
If I could have all of them, that's great. Because with the primary drink being some tea cooler, half and half, lemonade iced tea, whatever you want. It has people call it different things. Okay. But you get my point.
Yeah.
With a side of gravy fries, which are amazing, and for dessert, chocolate lava cakes. Not necessarily from Domino's, but they could be.
But you wouldn't be mad.
I would not be mad. I absolutely would not be mad if they were from Domino's.
Well, I do think I have the better meal, but we'll teach that.
Of course, you think because you like created something in like a otherworldly vision. That's why, yeah. You said that you would make a casserole by starting with some casserole.
The base casserole, yeah.
Yeah.
In my vision, it makes sense.
That's like saying the first part of a car is just the car.
No.
Yes.
No, because my side wasn't a casserole, and I was like, I'm starting with a base casserole.
You literally said that.
It's a cheesy casserole. It's different.
Okay.
You just don't see the vision at all.
I'm gonna let this go into the court of public opinion, and then we'll see. So
I'm a real cook.
Okay.
Make my vision come true.
You're gonna pay somebody to make that?
No, I think an audience member will just be like, "No, what?
Oh, just for free?
Yeah,
okay,
for free.
Okay, yeah.
They'll DM me and say, "Hey, look what I made. It's really good. Good idea."
They'll probably also say, like, by the way, like the guy that's next to you is like really handsome and smart.
My multiple wives loved it. Well, all right. I guess we'll let the public opinion decide.
Yeah, and I think we're trying to keep it timely here as we have been recently. So I think it's a good place to stop.
Good place to stop.
But we've had a great time today.
Oh, it's a good.
I really think we've been very comprehensive and informative in many ways.
Yeah,
We normally are. But yeah. Happy Thanksgiving to all those out there celebrating this week.
Make your own Thanksgiving.
Make your own Thanksgiving. Yeah, who cares? Because turkey does suck.
Turkey does suck.
Turkey sucks, and stuffing is overrated. Mashed potatoes is pretty good.
It's all right.
And I like corn, but not as much as Sam does. So take what you want from it and make your own Thanksgiving and have a good time and be thankful.
Be thankful.
Yes.
All right. All right. Thank you for joining us.
Yes, thank you so much for
signing out.
Yeah. Goodbye.